Yes. Hello everyone. Yes, Pavan. Yes, boss. How are you guys doing?
Fine, sir.
Fine, sir.
Good. Good. Let's continue the class. In the previous class, we did learn about transplantation. We did learn about addition of manures and fertilizers, right? We had learned about manures also, right now? We did, I think, learned about the manures and the advantages of manures, right, Pavan? Now we're going to discuss the
Yes.
disadvantages also. Did you guys wrote down anything about disadvantages? I think you must have written down the disadvantages also. You guys turn your cameras on. Yes, both of you turn your cameras on. Today we are going to continue with some new topics today. Okay, we are going to learn about the synthetic fertilizers. We will also be learning about the biofertilizers. Okay. You guys turn your cameras on. Yeah, good. So talking about biofertilizers. So basically, biofertilizers are the substances that contains different type of microorganisms that enhances the fertility of the soil. That enhances the fertility of the soil. They will they will be applied to the soil and they will enhance the growth of the plant by increasing the availability of nutrients in the soil. So there are different type of microorganisms. Some of them can fix nitrogen from the air into the soil. Like for example, this rhizobium bacteria, it will provide the plant nitrogen. Or some of them are like this phosphobacteria. They helps the plant get phosphorus. They provides phosphorus to the plant. Getting it, guys? So different type of microorganisms, like it could be bacteria, it could be fungus, it could even be algae. So they will help in providing different type of nutrients to the plant. So thereby, they are actually acting as fertilizers. Now, fertilizer is basically something that enhances the fertility of the soil. No? Right, was right, Pavan? By definition, that is what fertilizer is. Huh? So these are the biofertilizers. Like these are the living organisms. These are living organisms that are improving the fertility of the soil. Hope that much should be clear to both of you. Where are others? Like Fatima is not present. Okay. Pavan, at this time you're having your piano class, no? Like on Fridays and Saturday, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So write down the topic. What are biofertilizers? Did you guys have written down this thing in the previous class about the disadvantages of manures? Quickly check your notes.
Sir, I didn't write. I'll write it.
Okay. Pavan, what about you? What was the last thing you wrote down?
Sir, I also didn't write the disadvantages of manure.
Okay, only you guys have written advantages of manure, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so write down. So despite having some advantages, it have some disadvantages. Like they are very bulky. Okay, now they are very bulky and they have low nutrition content in them. Further, they are inconvenient to handle and transport and store also. Also, they are not nutrient specific. Like for example, if the soil lacks nitrogen, so we need to add actually nitrogen chemical fertilizers. We need to add the synthetic fertilizers to, to make up the deficiency of nitrogen in the soil. But when you will add manure, so it will contain, it is not nutrient specific, no, like it will contain a small amount of nitrogen, a small amount of phosphorus, a small amount of potassium, a small amount of carbon, molybdenum, manganese, etc. So everything is present in manures, but in very small quantity. So they are not specific to nutrients. Also, you know that if you have got 100 kilogram of manures, and there you had just 10 kilogram of chemical fertilizers. Okay, a chemical fertilizer. So in terms of the nutrient content, in terms of the nutrition content, obviously the manures are going to have much more amount of nutrients in it now. Getting it, guys? So though they are bulky, and their nutrition content is also low. Oh, sorry, I was supposed to write it over here. I'm trying to say that the nutrient content in this 10 kilogram of chemical fertilizer is going to be much more than the manure. Even though manure is going to, let's say, weigh 100 kilogram, and you have got just 10 kilogram of chemical fertilizer, so this 10 kilogram of fertilizer will be having way more nutrition in it. Yes, Aman, how are you? Yes, falling slam.
Sir, I'm good, sir. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing good. So tell me, man, what's going
Yes,
on?
sir.
What's going on in the school?
Sir, in my school, sir, for some time, sir, because our teacher is absent, sir,
Hmm.
there have been substitutions.
Okay. And about the chapter, like which chapter is going on currently?
Uh, Again, sir, microorganisms, friend and sir.
Okay, same chapter is going on. Okay. Right now we were learning about the manures. Okay, na? Like particularly the disadvantages of manures. Though it has some advantages, like it enhances the fertility of the soil, it improves water absorption, it improves water retention in the soil, it increases aeration in the soil, it improves the physical and chemical property of the soil, but it also has some disadvantages. Like it is very bulky, it does not have so much of nutrition in it, it is difficult to store and transport from one place to another, and they are also not very specific to a particular type of nutrient. Okay, man. Who was finished?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Pawan, you also know? Hmm?
Yes.
Sorry. Now biofertilizers. Write down a little bit about the biofertilizers also. So just write down the top question, what are biofertilizers. Just write down a small statement for this, that biofertilizers biofertilizers are substances containing microorganisms microorganisms that, when applied to the soil enhances enhances plant growth plant growth. Okay. Further, you mention these microorganisms can fix atmospheric nitrogen atmospheric nitrogen in the soil, provide phosphorus phosphorus, etc. Okay, etc. So that is the thing about them. Many times now, some of the fungus will actually help the roots get water from the soil. Like the root already, its function is to get water from the soil and nutrient from the soil. In some cases, there are special type of fungi that helps the plant access more amount of nutrients from the soil. Okay, so in this, you don't only have bacteria, but we will have example of funguses also. Okay, no, so that is the thing.
Yes, sir.
Done, all of you know. So after the manures, the biofertilizers, Then we have got the chemical fertilizers. So what we are seeing that the manures are not able to supply the required quantities of the essential plant nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, etc. So they are supplemented with chemical fertilizers. Okay, now we need to make up the requirement of essential plant nutrients by providing chemical fertilizers. Okay, now chemical fertilizers. I'm changing the slide now. Okay. So write down the topic synthetic fertilizers. Synthetic fertilizers. In this, you mentioned that Fatima is here. She's so late. Write down the topic chemical fertilizers or synthetic fertilizers. Okay. So synthetic fertilizers or chemical fertilizers, they are the same thing. Okay. So they are made from synthetic materials. Like they are not derived from natural sources. Okay, now they are not made from the dead and decomposing organic matter, right? So they are manufactured in the factories and they contain higher concentration of nutrients in them. Oftentimes they can contain nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, etc. Yes, Fatima, how are you? Fatima, you there? Not try joining the class on time, Fatima. Otherwise, like you'll be missing on important topics. Okay. So you guys write down a small definition for synthetic fertilizers. Write down that a synthetic fertilizer is uh, is made from synthetic materials. Is made from synthetic materials and are not derived from natural sources like compost or manure. Like compost or manure. Okay. So these fertilizers are rather manufactured in the factories. So they are manufactured and contains higher concentration contains high concentration of nutrients, often including nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, etc. Okay, etc. Then we have several examples. Okay. Okay. Also, see, a chemical fertilizer, a synthetic fertilizer could be rich in a particular plant nutrient. Okay, no? It could be rich in a specific type of nutrient. So they are nutrient specific also. So your next point you will mention that. Let me see if we have a space. No. Next point you write down that a chemical fertilizer is is rich in a particular nutrient. Particular nutrient. Then you will write down some examples of the synthetic or chemical fertilizers. Like we have some examples like urea. We have got ammonium sulfate. Okay. After this, we have potash. And then the very common one, that is NPK. And where N stands for in NPK, N stands for nitrogen, P stands for phosphorus, phosphorus, and K here basically stands for potassium. Okay, so that in short is a description of the chemical fertilizers. All right, no? So the chemical fertilizers have plant nutrients in a concentrated form. Like just a small amount of chemical fertilizer will have so much of nutrients in it. Uh, So that is being said to be in a concentrated form. But when we learned about the manures, so in the manures, not only the plant nutrients, but humus was also present, like the organic matter is also present in the manure. Getting it? That's why it is so bulky now. All if you're getting what I'm trying to say right now?
Yes, sir.
In the manures, we are having two things. One is the organic matter, that is humus. Another was the plant nutrients. That's why it is so bulky. But in this, we don't have any organic matter. It's basically chemicals. So it only contains the plant nutrients in it only. Nothing else. No organic matter, nothing else. Okay. You guys write down this quickly. Fatima, you also understanding what we have discussed now? Getting it, everyone? All of you turn your cameras on. You guys also. I forgot to write the word D and the letter D here. They are manufactured, okay, na? ED. Boss, you done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Fatima, what about you? Aman,
Yes,
Pavan?
sir.
Okay, if everyone is done, just let me know.
What's
Done,
up
sir.
with nitrogen in synthetic fertilizers?
Okay, you're writing down something.
Yeah, what's after natural in synthetic fertilizer?
Okay.
Derived from natural, not derived from natural.
Okay, derived from natural sources like compost or manure.
Okay, so
Okay. And they are manufactured and contains higher concentration of nutrients, often including nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, etc. Also, you guys would have noted down this, like basically these chemical fertilizers now they usually come in bags. Okay, na? They usually come in airtight bags. Okay, why is it so? Because they absorbs moisture very quickly. So they are packed in airtight bags. But on the other hand, manures does not needs to be packed in airtight bags. Okay, no? So chemical fertilizers always comes in airtight bags. Okay. Also, you will observe that suppose if you're fond of gardening, so sometimes you need to add the chemical fertilizers to the plant. I have done this several times. So while you'll be holding the chemical fertilizers in your hand now, So it will start to absorb moisture from your hand. It will become little bit moist. Getting it?
Sir, what's of the compost as mature?
Compost or manure. manure, manure. Okay. Fatima, I will put the screenshot in the chat box. Okay, na? Can you write it from there?
Okay, sir.
Hmm. Also, one more statement you guys will be writing down that. Okay. In continuation, you have to write it down. Okay, now. So in continuation, you guys write down that chemical fertilizers, chemical fertilizers, okay, chemical fertilizers come in bags, come in airtight bags because they absorb moisture very quickly. They absorb moisture very quickly. Okay. Also, they are easily soluble in water also. Okay, they are easily soluble in water. And the chemical fertilizers, no, they can be applied at different times. Like they can be applied before sowing. Okay, no, before the seed has to be sown. So at that time we can apply the chemical fertilizers. Then during time of irrigation also, right? Or it can be sprayed on the standing crops also. Like the crops are there on the field, they have grown to some height. Even at that time, the chemical fertilizers can be spread. Okay, no? So the use of the chemical fertilizers have actually helped the farmers to get better yield of the crops. Okay, na? It has particularly shown significant amount of improvement in crops like wheat, paddy, maize, barley, etc. But the excessive use of fertilizer is going to be harmful also. Okay, na? Although it has several advantages, they are sorry. We're seeing that there are several advantages of the chemical fertilizers, but it has some disadvantages also. In terms of advantages, we are seeing that they provide quick result. They are providing quick results, higher yield. You have the option to choose a particular type of fertilizer. If your soil lacks nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, you can choose the NPK fertilizer. You can choose this one. By the way, that picture was sent there, no? Yeah, okay. So you can choose the NPK fertilizer. Getting it? So there you have the option. You can choose a specific type of fertilizer. If your soil is lacking a particular type of nutrient, let's say it lacks molybdenum, or let's say it lacks phosphorus, it lacks potassium. So you can go to the market, you can purchase a particular chemical fertilizer which contains that nutrient, and you will only give that type of chemical fertilizer to the soil. So thereby you have that convenience, you have that option, you have the better command also, right? So you can carefully manage the amount of each nutrient and its concentration when you apply synthetic fertilizers, unlike the organic ones, right? So you can manage how much of nutrient you have to add, right? Now, whether you have to add a highly concentrated fertilizer or a less concentrated fertilizer. Suppose your field is already fertile. Okay, now you just need to add just a little bit of chemical fertilizer there. So you can go to the market and you can purchase a chemical fertilizer which is not very concentrated, which is just a normal fertilizer. Getting in what I'm trying to say? So like you have this option how much you want to add the fertilizer, right? Which type of nutrient you have to add to the soil. So you have this option. Okay, so also the outcomes are fast, crop yield is more. Also, it is affordable also. Why? Because when you compare it with the manures, if you have to make your land fertile, you will need to, let's say, will need to add, let's say, 100 kilogram of manure. But instead of purchasing 100 kilogram of manure, you can make your land fertile by just 10 kilogram of chemical fertilizers, let's say. And manure in comparison, 100 kilogram of manure in comparison to 10 kilogram of fertilizer is going to be expensive. Getting it, was Pavan, Aman, Fatima, everyone getting it now?
Yes.
So thereby it is affordable also. Hope you guys have understood this much. Any questions
Yes.
from the advantage points of view? Right, so these are basically the advantages. So write down the topic advantages of synthetic fertilizer. You won't be writing down this one, I'll be giving you. Okay, so first thing you will write down that we can choose the fertilizers based on nutrient requirement of the soil. We can choose it based on the nutrient requirement of the soil, whether it gives more yield, okay, na? Increased crop yield, that is another advantage, okay. Further, increased crop yield also, and faster plant grows faster, that is something. Then sorry, then they are affordable than the organic fertilizers, than the manures also, okay na? So they are affordable also, they are affordable than organic fertilizers. Here organic fertilizer is being referred to the manures and compost. Got it? Na? Manures and compost, they are the organic fertilizers here. Another advantage is that it is easy to use and apply. Okay, na? We can handle it very easily, right? So they are available in various forms. Sometimes it comes in the form of granules, like you can see, these are the tiny granules. Okay, na? And sometimes it comes in the form of liquid also, right? So it can be directly applied, like it can be applied to the plant in the form of granules, right? Or by the help of a spraying machine, as it comes in the form of liquid also. So by the help of the spraying machine, it can be sprayed also. Got it, everyone? So write down that it is easy to use and apply. So these are some advantages. But since it is made up of chemicals, so excessive use is going to be disadvantageous. Right after this, we'll be learning about that. Fatima, you wrote down the definition of chemical fertilizer. No? You have written down everything from this right now, Fatima?
Sir, I did, but I will write from the screenshot you sent me.
Okay. Also, like in certain places, in certain countries, where farming is done in a very professional way, so farmers will send the soil to the laboratory in order to check the nutrient content of the soil. Okay, now they will send the sample of the soil to the laboratories to determine their nutrient content. So it will help them understand the current condition of the soil's fertility, right? So once the report will come, now they can take proper decision about fertilization steps, right? Now, like which type of nutrient they need to add, which type of fertilizer has to be added. Getting it now? So actually, farmers should do the soil testing also. It actually reveals the level of essential nutrients present in the soil. Got it. Suppose if the sample, if the report came and in that it was found that the level of phosphorus is very less, right now. So thereby, it will help the farmer. It will help the farmer, and like the farmer is now going to add the phosphorus fertilizer to the soil. Got it. No? Also, like farmers should also regularly get the test of the soil also done. Okay, no. Okay, you guys tell me if the pH level of soil is 3, is it good or is it bad?
Sir,
It is bad.
It is bad, no? So that means soil is
sir, it will
acidic.
be too basic.
Basic, no. 3, I have said 3.
Oh,
And if the pH level is in between 0 to 7, then it is acidic now. If it is
Yes, sir.
7, then it is neutral. Then between 7 to 14, then it is basic in nature. So plants grows best in neutral soil, right? No, the soil having a pH level of 7 is very good. So thereby farmers also need to add certain type of materials to bring down the pH level back to 7. Like they will add calcium oxide, basically lime is added, manure is also as added. Okay, no? That is the thing. Everyone done with this now?
Sir, with the last one.
Okay, write down it quickly. Okay, you guys think about what could be the disadvantage of excessive use of the chemical fertilizers.
Sir, it doesn't contain organic matter, so the soil won't be fertile anymore.
Okay, like we can say that the soil will not get the organic matter. Okay, soil will be getting fertile, but if we use it excessively, if we keep on using it continuously, so then it is going to actually do the opposite. Rather than fertilizing, it will make it infertile. Okay, no? Also, excessive use of chemical fertilizers can make the soil either highly acidic or highly basic. Okay, no? So if soil is highly acidic or highly basic, then it is going to be very infertile. It's going to become less fertile. Also, we know that there are many microorganisms living in the soil now, right? So excessive use of the fertilizers, chemical fertilizers, can kill the microorganisms present in the soil. And we know that microorganisms are very good for the soil because the microorganisms decomposes the dead organic matter present in the soil and converts it into humus, which is very good for the soil. Okay, should I change this right now? Yes, there is one more disadvantage that when we are using excessive amount of chemical fertilizers, uh, so during the rainfall, as the due to the runoff, the water would be going to the nearby lakes, ponds, rivers, right? So ultimately, it will lead to formation of alga in that water body. It will pollute the water body. There's an interesting phenomena which we are going to discuss about. Fatima, you're done now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fatima, please read the given paragraph. Artificial here, basically artificial fertilizer, a synthetic fertilizer, or chemical fertilizer, they are the same thing. Okay, now read down this first.
Artificial fertilizers cause long-term imbalances in the ideal pH of the soil as well as its fertility. Note: artificial fertilizers, along with affecting plant life, affect human and their activities as well. Long-term use of these fertilizers leads to respiratory diseases that can be life-threatening.
So it has many disadvantages. First thing, it's going to disturb the ideal pH level of the soil. Ideal pH level, like it means basically 7. Okay, now ideal pH level means that the pH level that is good for the soil. So pH level 7 is good for the soil now when
Are
it
we,
is neutral. Yeah,
are we supposed to write this?
yeah, you guys will be writing down this thing. Okay,
Okay.
now. And you guys will write down these points also. Okay, now. So makes excessive use makes soil less fertile. Then you will write down that it leads to water pollution, leads to water pollution in ponds, lakes, rivers. Then further you will write down leads to respiratory diseases to farmers. So these are the general disadvantages. Okay.
Done, sir.
Good.
None, sir.
Done. Fatima, you also done now?
Not done. I'll take a screenshot.
Okay, okay, take it.
Also.
Good. Now look what happens when the farmers would be spraying excessive amount of chemical fertilizers. Okay, now. So, and if there's a rainfall at that time, so the excessive amount of chemical fertilizers will eventually end up some nearby lakes, nearby water bodies, right now. And thereby, what will happen? It will lead to a phenomena where alga will start to grow in an uncontrolled manner. That is called as algal bloom. That is called as algal bloom. So what we know that alga is a it's a plant, right? It's a plant-like organism right now, right? And alga will get the nutrition from the water. Alga gets the nutrition from the water. So basically, the chemical fertilizers, excessive chemical fertilizers that are ending up into these water bodies, they are basically containing nutrients now. Chemical fertilizers contain different type of nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, molybdenum, manganese, etc. All these are different nutrients present in the chemical fertilizers now. So they are coming to these water bodies. So as they go into the water bodies, and if there are already few alga present in the water body, right? Suppose there was just this much of alga earlier in the water body. Now this alga is going to take up that nutrient from the water body now. The nutrient that has came because of chemical fertilizers here. So it is going to multiply further. It's going to increase, right? So slowly it starts to multiply. It starts to multiply till it grows in an uncontrolled manner. And if you were to look at it from some distance now, it will appear as if someone has laid a green carpet over the water body. If someone looks at it at a distance, it will appear as if someone has laid a green carpet over the water body. Getting it, everyone? Right? So that is called as algal bloom. So you write down that excessive use of chemical fertilizers leads to algal bloom in the water body. Okay, you can write down in the following manner, which I'm going to write here. You will write down that the excessive use of chemical fertilizers leads to algal bloom in water bodies. Excess use of chemical fertilizers leads to algal bloom in water bodies. Okay. So basically what happens here, the fertilizers, when they contain nitrogen, phosphorus, etc., different type of nutrients, when they end up into the water bodies, so they will lead to rapid and excessive growth of alga. Okay. So next thing you'll write on that, when fertilizers ends up in water bodies, then it leads to rapid and excessive growth of alga, right? And this rapid growth is known as algal bloom. And this rapid growth leads to algal bloom. Now it is going to have so much of bad effect on the aquatic ecosystem. Okay, now first of all, what it has done, it has blocked the sunlight. Right now, the sunlight is not entering into the water body. Getting it now? So it's going to have so much of negative effect in the water body. Getting it? Which we are going to discuss about. Yes, everyone done?
Sir, I'm done.
Okay, Pawan, Fatima.
Sir, almost done.
Okay, right. Aman, in the chapter Microorganism, Friends and Foe, did you learn about the alga? These are the plant-like organisms.
Yes, sir.
They have chlorophyll in them, right?
Sir, we have not come to that part, but sir, we have learned about it.
Okay. You know, some of the alga are edible also. Okay, no? Some of the alga are edible also. They are good source of energy. In fact, some of the alga is used to make fuel also, right? No? So certain type of alga are edible. They are considered as a good source of energy and have got many beneficial nutrients. Particularly, some type of seaweeds are edible. Particularly in China, some type of like the red seaweed is consumed. Then we obtain the fuel also from the alga. Okay, no? So that is the thing. I'm going to change this right now. If anyone is still left, please let me know. Okay, so what is happening? Let us understand this. In this water body, what is happening here? Too much of screen is visible or not? Is my screen stucking?
No, sir.
Yeah. See what is happening here? That when too much of like when a water body is overly enriched with nutrients, there is excessive amount of nutrients in the water body. So it leads to excessive growth of the alga right now and excessive growth of plants also. Then as there will be excessive growth of alga and the plants in the water body, then the amount of oxygen is going to decrease because alga and the plant, they will start consuming the oxygen that is dissolved in the water body now, right or no? Yeah, there is excessive amount of chemical fertilizers being added into the water body, so it increases the amount of nutrients in the water body now. Plants need nutrient, alga also needs nutrient to grow, isn't it? So they will start to consume these nutrients and their population is going to increase, their numbers are going to increase, and they're going to do respiration. To carry out respiration, which gas is required? To carry out respiration, which gas is needed? Anyone?
Sir, oxygen.
Oxygen is needed now. Yes, Pavan, what happened? Fatima, Aman, you guys must have learned about respiration in the previous grade now. Respiration is the process where food is broken down with the help of oxygen in the cells of the organisms, right?
Yes.
So whether it be the plants or the alga, like they will also do respiration. So they will start taking in oxygen from the water body. So oxygen level starts to deplete here, right? And as the oxygen level will start to deplete here, so further what we will see that the fishes, what about them? Will they be able to survive in this? Obviously no, right? No, they will also not be able to survive. So what is basically happening here? Also, one more thing here: the alga that is growing over here, they will start to die also, no? As they are blooming, as they are growing, so they will die also. So as the alga will be dying, I'm drawing another diagram over here. Okay, 1 minute. So as there is a uncontrolled growth of the alga, so alga will gradually start to die also. Okay, no? So look what basically happens here. Let's say that this is the uncontrolled amount of alga that is growing over the water body. Gradually, it is going to die also. So when it will die, it will go to the bed of the water body over here, right? And slowly it will start to decompose also. Getting it or not? It starts to decay. That is the algal bloom. Once it starts to die, it will go down. Okay, now it will go down. Also, moments ago we just learned that it will start to consume oxygen from the body now. From the water body takes in oxygen. Getting it, guys? Then also at the same time, you learned one more thing, that there are going to be certain aquatic plants that will also start to grow in an uncontrolled manner. They will also take in oxygen now. This particular here are sea grasses, for example, aquatic plants. They will also take in the oxygen. Yes, Fatima, or no? Yes, Pavan? That will also take in oxygen now. Getting it or not? One more thing is happening at the
Yes.
same time. This is the sunlight. This is the sun. The sunlight is also getting blocked. Yeah. Sunlight is getting blocked because of the algal bloom here. Sunlight is blocked. Okay. Sunlight is being blocked here. So what we will see further, also one more thing which we have seen, that there is excessive nutrients in water body. Where is this coming from? This is coming from the runoff from the agricultural field. This is coming. So this is coming from the agricultural field in which excessive amount of chemical fertilizer has been added. Okay, so in this, what basically happens? First of all, there is an increase in the nutrient level in the water, right? Then these nutrients will be acting as fertilizers, and it will cause a rapid increase in the growth of alga and the growth of aquatic plants like sea grasses. So it is leading to algal bloom here. Getting it? Then, as the excessive alga and the plants will start to die, as the excessive alga and the plants will start to die, so they will start to get decomposed. No, they will start to decompose. Yes or no? They will die and they will be getting decomposed now. Now decomposition is being carried out by some microorganisms, right? So they will also consume large amount of dissolved oxygen in the water now. As the alga will die, as the aquatic plants will die, so their body will be getting decomposed, and in the process of decomposition, the microorganisms will consume large amount of dissolved oxygen from the water body. So oxygen level is now going to decrease in the water body, right? Okay, now. So if the oxygen level in the water body is going to decrease, will the fishes be able to survive? Yeah,
No, sir.
well, they won't be able to survive. Now they will also start to die. In fact, no other organisms in the water body in the sea will be able in the water body will be able to survive. Got it now? So this whole phenomena is called as eutrophication. What is this whole thing called as? Eutrophication. So eutrophication is the process in which a water body becomes overly enriched with nutrients, leading to excessive plant and algal growth, which can then deplete the oxygen level in the water body. And this process can occur either naturally or can occur due to human activities also, like runoff water coming from agricultural field. Hope you guys have understood what basically is happening in the eutrophication. If there is any doubt, please let me know. I would like to explain it again if you guys have any questions. Was you understood this? Pavan, what about you? Fatima?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, I will be just explaining it once again. Okay, now see. First of all, what is happening? From the agricultural field, from the agricultural field, when excessive amount of chemical fertilizers are being added to the land and there is a rainfall, so due to the rainfall, the surface water will run off to the water bodies. So in the water body, we are seeing that there is excessive amount of nutrients being added into the water body here, right? So alga will start to grow in an uncontrolled manner, right? That rapid growth of alga is called as algal bloom, where it looks like someone has laid a green carpet over the water body. Then the aquatic plants, for example, sea grasses, they will also start to grow in an uncontrolled manner. Eventually, they are going to die also, right? So when alga will die, when the sea grasses will die, so they will be decomposed by microorganisms now. So while they will be decaying, so their decaying also will take in the dissolved oxygen. It will also take in oxygen. So all of this is actually depleting the amount of dissolved oxygen in the water body, because of which no living organisms will be able to survive in that water body. Okay, na? Hence, further we will see that it will be the water is now going to basically become very, very polluted. Got it, guys? Okay, na? So that was the thing. So you guys write down the topic eutrophication. Write down eutrophication and write down a short definition for this. Write down that it is a process where a water body is overly enriched with nutrients, overly enriched with nutrients, leading to excessive plant and algae growth, which can then deplete oxygen levels. Okay, now, and this process makes the water polluted, in which no living organisms can survive. So that is what eutrophication is. Try writing it down quickly. In many coastal areas now, in many coastal areas, just 1 minute, like take a look at this. This is the coastal region. So can you guys, like, do you guys believe that in this type of water the fishes will be able to survive? In this water near the coast?
No, sir.
Obviously no. So earlier, when eutrophication would not have happened here, fishes could be found near the coastal regions. But because of eutrophication, the fishes will no longer be able to survive near the coastal waters, near the coastal areas. Guys, write it fast because the other class is going to start soon.
Sir, can I just take a screenshot?
Okay, take the screenshot then.
That's
Do one thing others also take the screenshot if like too much is left to write.
Done, sir.
Done. Ugas, you also take a screenshot, but make sure
Sir,
you
done.
write it down. Done. No? Okay, guys.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's it for today's class. Okay, we'll be continuing from the next.
not so.